Hey everyone, Leticia here. Hope you're doing well. I'm recording this video for my YouTube channel. Greetings from the streets of Quito, Ecuador. So those of you who follow me on Instagram and on Facebook would have known that I've actually been in Quito, well, not in Quito, but rather in Ecuador for the past almost 2 weeks now. Today's my last day in town and I wanted to record a little bit of footage here in Quito. Quito was my arrival point in Ecuador. The reason I came to Ecuador in the first place is for another mountaineering adventure. And over the past 2 weeks, I've completed, 4 different climbs here. A couple of them were so-called acclimatization climbs, and then the other 2 were, the volcano Cotopaxi, which is the second highest mountain in Ecuador, and then the mountain of Chimborazo. Just like in Mexico, they have these trucks bringing gas to people. Anyway, I'm in a neighborhood here in Quito called Mariscal. This is Plaza Gabriela Mistral, a little park, and I wanted to give a shout out. So when I first came to Quito, I spent a couple of nights in this neighborhood because I came a little earlier because I wanted to buy some equipment. Unfortunately, Ecuadorian people seem to be very COVID crazy and afraid, and they do wear masks even out on the street. I don't know if that's by law or personal choice. I don't think it's by law because I've been even inside stores and the employees didn't wear masks in some of the stores. Some of the employees didn't wear masks, or they had them lowered down to their chin. But overall, it seems they really bought the whole thing hook, line, and sinker. The Ecuadorian population, from what I've seen so far. Anyway, this place, my friends, Mile Time. I was lucky. So when I first stayed here, I stayed at a very inexpensive little hotel, a couple of blocks up that way. It was lovely. The only thing that it didn't have was warm water. So for that reason, I can't recommend it. Second time around, I stayed at this other hotel in the neighborhood because I like this neighborhood. And anyway, they told me about this vegetarian place, Mile Time. It's owned by a Taiwanese family. And guys, for $4, they will give you, they open at 12 to 4. They have the special, I think it's every day, 12 to 4, 4-course meal for $4. Insane. They have the dessert place next door. I also bought like a vegan gelato thing from this place here. So overall, I like the vibe of this neighborhood. It's very eclectic. It's a mix of, tall buildings like the ones you see over there, and little boutique restaurants, little boutiques of all kinds. Overall, I really liked Quito as a city. It's walkable, and at the same time it's big. It's a city of about 3 million people. It's surrounded by mountains. It's got a lot of hills. Obviously very different geography from where I live now in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. The weather, obviously not nearly as hot. I mean, I would estimate right now it's probably about 14-15 degrees Celsius outside. I'm wearing this thing, my soft shell jacket, as I've learned that it's called. It's part of the technical layers that you need to buy for mountaineering. So yeah, in case you're wondering what's up with me and this mountaineering adventures, I've had a love of the mountains from my childhood. I grew up in Romania, as some of you know, and my parents there took my brother and I on very long hikes in the mountains. Every time we, in the summer times, we would often vacation in the mountains of Romania, the Carpathian Mountains. They go up to about 2,500 meters. But I'll tell you, we did some serious hikes like that. We would leave in the morning and not come back until late at night. Absolutely beautiful. So I'll just walk and talk. I've always known that I wanted to do, to get back into the mountains at some point in time, and I just figured, this year is as good as ever. Life doesn't wait, life goes on, and I wanted to actually start making my dreams a reality. This particular set of buildings, I mean, they're not very attractive, but I have seen, and again, this neighborhood is a mix of commercial and residential. As we were driving through Quito yesterday, coming back from Cotopaxi, I was driving with my guide, and we drove through the financial district of Quito, and that's a whole different scene. Beautiful, big glass buildings. I mean, of course, beautiful is in the eyes of the beholder. But overall, my impression of Quito is it's quite a developed city, as opposed to where I live in Mexico. For example, they do have some consciousness about recycling. It seems increasingly so, which I like. What else? This road here is called Reina Victoria. Right now, there's not much going on here. But at night is a road full of bars, restaurants, and I did come to have dinner here 2-3 nights ago at an Indian place. And yeah, I was happy to see, Indian restaurants. I saw a shawarma place. Overall, Quito is not exactly an expat destination. I was told by the nice cab driver that drove me from the airport here that Cuenca is a lot more, the city of Cuenca, Ecuador, is a lot more of an expat destination. I don't know why. I think it's located like in a hilly area. I heard it's very, very beautiful. I've not been. This is actually my first time in Ecuador. I had previously been a few times to amazing Peru back in my 20s. Yeah, yellow cabs are everywhere in Quito, and they are dirt cheap, you guys. Like literally, for a 20-minute ride, I was charged like $5. I literally felt like bad for the guy. I gave him a nice tip because the reason I even was on a 20-minute drive is because the hotel we stayed at, that was part of my mountaineering trip, was an absolutely beautiful property called Hacienda Rumiloma. I'll put a link to it down below. Absolutely spectacular place on the outskirts of Quito, so a little bit far removed. Like that's why I said about 20 minutes. In a hilly area on a valley, like absolutely gorgeous, mouth-dropping property. And I do have some footage from there as well. And I did journey my mountaineering adventure. Again, I just kind of want to show you more of this Mariscal neighborhood, and that's all I'll have a chance to do. I literally have to go back to my hotel, pack my bags, and get ready for, well, my flight is not until later today, but I actually booked myself a hair appointment somewhere in the heart of Quito. As you can tell, I need it. So, and I had a bit of extra time. Yeah. So anyway, you kind of get a mixture of older and newer buildings. Lots of restaurants. Again, some of the places don't open until later in the evening. This awesome place here called Condor Trek, I guess they run their own expeditions, but my guides work in conjunction with them, and they rent equipment for mountaineering. So that's where I rented my double plastic boots, which is something I needed. Oh, gracias. My double plastic boots, and what else? I rented my sleeping bag, because the only sleeping bag I had, I bought like a really serious, very cold weather one, which was like not really what I needed for Ecuador. For Ecuador, I would have needed, I think this was a negative 20 Celsius, and it was good enough for the most part. At the high camp on Mount Chimborazo, 5,300 meters, I did feel a little cold. There was one last thing I wanted to show you guys. I believe it's right on this street. It's a lovely little chocolate place. I'm gonna come back and buy some gifts for my mom and dad, who have been nice enough to come to Playa del Carmen and stay with my son while I was here adventuring. Yeah, I want to show you this chocolate place. Chocolate is a big thing in Ecuador, as you can imagine. Well, I don't know if you can imagine or not, but it is a big thing. Chocolate and coffee. They are known for their fruit production, their flower production as well. They export roses in particular, lots of fruits. I was so impressed. Like the supermarkets here have like such amazing variety of fruits, more than I've seen pretty much anywhere, which is amazing for me as a vegan. Like I'm like, oh, I'm in paradise. And they also have a long-standing chocolate tradition. So I'm gonna show you. I hope I can find this place. If I remember correctly, it is on this street. Overall, I leave Ecuador with absolutely beautiful memories. My time in the mountains was absolutely amazing. Not easy. I mean, climbing high mountains at high altitude, I mean, this is something that is still new to me, and it's a personal challenge. It's some people have called it type 2 fun. Like, as you're in the process of climbing the mountain, it can be very intense, especially once we got up to, you know, altitudes past 5,500 meters. I'm, you know, literally every step I'm breathing heavily, but it was all worth it. Honestly, it was so amazing. And I mean, yeah, I mean, some people run marathons, some people do triathlons, and I've always wondered, like, why people do that. And I think, like, I do understand it now a little better. The idea of pushing oneself and seeing just how far you can go, you know. And I feel that overall, I mean, I really feel like mountains are my thing, and I'm gonna continue with this endeavor probably for the coming years and beyond. I mean, honestly, I'm really enjoying myself. and we all want to live a happy life, and yeah, some people are like, you live in a beach town but you're into the mountains. Guys, I'm literally having the best of both worlds. How can I complain? I am such a lucky woman, you know. Yeah, Playa del Carmen is absolutely beautiful. The Cancun airport is the busiest airport in Latin America. From Cancun, I can fly anywhere in the world for cheaper than if I were to live somewhere else. To give you an idea, like, I actually checked flights from Mexico City to Ecuador. Yeah, I feel like I'm recognizing, I don't remember the name of this street, but as you can see, you have major streets, and they do have like solid public transit. Like, for example, those are dedicated bus lanes. I guess I should wait for the light or something. Yeah, the chocolate place is literally up the hill. Too bad I didn't bring any money with me, because I actually do want to buy some, but you know what, I'll stop by with a cabbie, and then I'll get my chocolate before I head to the hair salon, and then the airport. But yeah, look at all the hilly areas. No, honestly, Ecuador, Quito, I've not been to other parts of Ecuador other than being in the mountains. We also visited on the way to Mount Chimborazo and back. We stopped by in the city of Ambato, a city of about 300,000 people. Again, particularly known for its roses and flowers and fruit production. And yeah, that was also very beautiful, surrounded by mountains again. But Quito overall, very cosmopolitan. You've got something of everything here. Restaurants of all kinds. Oh my God, the one thing that I literally fell in love with, yeah, this is the place. Muy chocolateria fina, fine chocolatery. Guys, before I show you the chocolate place, I gotta show you these spectacular palm trees that Ecuador has. Like, I've only seen these types of palm trees here in Quito, nowhere else. Maybe in Peru, I can't remember. But we definitely don't have these in Mexico. We have different types of palm trees. But yeah, look how cute the neighborhood is. A lot of greenery. They do get quite a bit of precipitation, although now being summertime, they told me that this is not the time when, like, normally they don't have a lot of precipitation, but they're like, well, the weather, climate change, they're buying that whole thing, you know. Climate change, i.e. geoengineering, if you ask me. But yeah, look at like how the neighborhoods are in Quito. You have these literally houses up on the hills, way up on the hills. To me, it's like, it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. And yeah, you know what? Hopefully these guys don't mind that I promote them. Like, I mean, it's such a lovely place. They do have a handful of vegan options, but their spectacular looking truffles are not vegan. Let's see. Look at all this. Oh yeah, one thing about Ecuador, hola, is that they actually use the US dollar as a currency. You can look it up. I mean, I don't know much about the history, but obviously it all started with hyperinflation a number of years ago, and they decided to go to the US dollar. You guys know how I feel about that. I'll be back. Yeah. And well, if you don't know how I feel about that, I'll tell you. I mean, the IMF is not our friend, okay? Let's just say that. One good thing I am happy about is that the city of Quito, not just the city, the country of Ecuador, I want to say either this year, 2022 or 2021, they adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, and they are taking all kinds of steps to put in place the infrastructure so that this could be, you know, accepted widely as legal tender. In the case of my mountaineering expedition here, I paid in US dollars, but then I spoke to my guide with regards to other, you know, further trips, international trips, and I told him, hey, listen, I'm in Mexico. The easiest way for me to send money to you would be in crypto. And he's like, listen, just teach me how to accept it. I'm willing to give it a try. And Ecuador has said that they're not gonna tax crypto, you know. Okay, now what I'm looking for is that Banco de Guayaquil building, because my hotel is right across the street from there. So yeah, you can see the buses, very civilized. I don't know, gasoline doesn't seem to be very expensive here. I mean, there were some public revolts apparently, that recently there were some protests that you might have heard about. Again, like you can have breakfast for like $2-3. It's insane. Not vegan. I mean, the local cuisine, I can't say I was crazy about it. Well, it's okay. They love their soups. Soups are okay. Quinoa soup, potato soup, lots of potatoes. Potatoes are a big crop in Ecuador, as they are in Peru, for example, neighboring country. I'm gonna just run across the street right now, jaywalking. I'm good. Panaderia, pasteleria. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Oh geez, this place literally just closed. It was open a week ago. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe it's because they didn't serve almond milk. I'm just joking. But yeah, I went in there asking if they could serve me almond milk. There are some places that have almond or other veggie milks, but it's not, the vegan diet is not very common in Ecuador. They eat all kinds of meats that I don't really care for. So I can't even remember, but pork dishes, lots of chicken, but thankfully there are, again, vegan soups of all kinds. Let me see what else. Yeah, I want to show you the entrance to my hotel. It was really lovely. And geez, I just realized I gotta really hurry and pack my bags, because oh yeah, what else was I gonna tell you? The city of Quito is, my hair appointment is at 11 and it's like probably 10:30 you pass right now. The city of Quito being the capital of the country, I noticed there are a lot of the ministry offices here, so it's a government town, you could say, kind of like Ottawa is in Canada. Lots of government buildings. I did notice, I don't know, that's not Edificio Antares. Large apartment buildings, as you can see, and condo buildings. In that other city of Bato, I did notice, you know, condo construction. One thing that I found fascinating is like a lot of the windows have a tint to them, and I asked my guide why that is, and he explained that because we are at high altitude, like the city of Quito is at about 20, oh yeah, KFC. They again, lots of international franchises, KFC, McDonald's. The pharmacies are amazing here. Like you can buy anything at the pharmacies, they're large. Okay, I'm a little lost right now. The building I'm looking for is pink. I literally think it's down the road. I'm gonna find it for sure. But in the meantime, we'll just keep on rolling to give you a feel for Ecuador. Chicken place. Lots of street vendors as well. That's common in Mexico as well. Okay, where are you? Guayaquil building. Guayaquil is the other major city in Ecuador. Oh yeah, so my guide yesterday, when I asked him about this neighborhood, Mariscal, as you can see, you see like mansion-like properties which have in the meantime been turned into stores. He told me that like initially Quito started with the historic town, which looks like very colonial, lots of old colonial style building. Oh, there it is. Yes, the pink building, Banco Guayaquil. Okay, that's where I'm going. I walked for further than I was expecting. Ha ha ha. So as you can see, like very urban, big streets, but at the same time it's very walkable. It reminds me of Bucharest, actually, my city where I was born and spent the first 15 years of my life. Bucharest is a lot like this. You've got large sidewalks, it's very walkable. It's not like a North American city where in order to get around you got to drive everywhere. I think it would be helpful to drive in Quito, although again, cabs being as cheap as they are, I think they're actually very affordable for the locals as well. Mariscal, that's the name of the neighborhood. I liked it. Yes, I could have stayed, like, you know, when we drove through the financial district, I asked myself if I wanted to stay there, but you know, that literally reminds me of like downtown Toronto, very cold, no character. I mean, again, it's the financial district, you know, it's got a certain feel to it. I'm gonna cross the street and okay, did I just miss my chance? I did. Oh man. Okay. Oh, okay, I'll have to wait for this long line of cars now. Okay, that dude is not moving very fast, so well, he is actually. Okay, all right, I know. Thank you, tourist. No. Oh yeah, look, from my hotel window I actually see that awesome mural, and it occurred to me that, you know, in Playa del Carmen we have a lot of new development and we have a lot of these walls that could be made so much more beautiful by a mural. And I actually have a lovely lady friend. Look at the buses, like big buses. Again, reminds me so much of Bucharest. Bucharest is so much like this, except without all the hills and not surrounded by mountains like Bucharest is. Street level, what I mean, ocean level, what do you call it? Sea level, that's what they call it. That's a cool building over there. Okay, so yeah, that's, I forget the name of this big road here, but we're back on Reina Victoria, Queen Victoria. I know, they're everywhere. So I gotta show you this little hotel that I'm staying at, you guys. It's been a pleasant surprise. I did find it on booking.com. To give you an idea, I think it's a 3-star hotel. It has a gym, breakfast included. If you eat meat, man, they had all kinds of like really good breakfast. They had fruits and they had almond milk for my coffee. I was happy with that. And it's called Hotel Carolina Montecarlo. And guys, $40 a night plus some taxes. It's like comes to like $43 a night. It's amazing. Are you kidding me? And for if I wanted to spend an extra $15 a night, hola, I could have stayed at Hotel Reina Victoria, which is like one of the best hotels in town. It's also like, I drove by in the taxi yesterday, so it's close enough to here, guys. But I could wholeheartedly recommend this place, Hotel Carolina Montecarlo. They are so nice. The staff, like literally, like absolutely welcoming and nice and attentive. Yeah, I had such a wonderful time and I feel really blessed. Okay, I'm gonna end it here, you guys. I gotta pack my bags and get out of town. Bye bye, Quito.